G'day everyone, Viv here from Battlebunker down in Melbourne. I'm about to teach Scott here a game of Malifaux, so I thought I'd stick the camera on. I'll stick it on the tripod, we'll get a view from the top and I'll see what I can do with this little thing and mix some footage together.
Hello, YouTube land.
This is Scott Reed. Scott's built a lot of this stuff. I was talking about this little carriage before in one of the Wild West scenes. Scott built this. Scott built the tavern before, the saloon that we use for Wild West. He's also a designer that works for WorldWorks games, and I'll put their description here and a link up in the description over here. So go check those guys out. We'll have an interview with Scott later on about the graphics that he works with and all that sort of stuff and the kits that he's put together for WorldWorks. Anyway, let's jump straight into Malifaux here and you guys can follow along with us. Thanks for watching. The game's basically a sort of alternating action sequence.
Kind of thing, yeah.
I activate one miniature, you activate another miniature. Each character gets 2 action points to spend. 2 general action points, which they can spend on movement or fighting or casting spells or those types of things. Some characters also give you extra action dice which you can use. They're represented by the +1s on the card.
No dice. No diceless game.
No, there's no dice in this game.
You said dice.
Did I say dice?
You said action dice. You meant an action.
I mean action points. So yeah, this guy here has +1 melee expert, which means that he gets 1 action point.
So where is this on the card?
Up on
right, like actions here?
Yep, up on the top.
+1 melee expert?
Up on the top right hand side of
Yep.
the card. You can see that it'll have their various actions there.
Does it have to be +1 or is it just...
Yep, something that says +1 gives them an action point that they can use
like
on that ability.
kind of a free
Yeah,
action point.
it's a free action point for that ability, for that action. The ones that just have a number listed next to them, that costs an action point.
Okay, I see.
So if it says 0, it costs nothing.
Yep.
Or it's automatically...
If you have 0, it's a 0-point action. You can do 1 0-point action in a model's activation. When you activate a model, you have to spend all the action points on that model.
Okay.
Once that model's activated, then it goes to the opponent and they activate one model and do something with.
Basically like a turn, almost.
Kind of, yeah.
But you can only use 1 model.
That's right, yeah. A turn consists of us both activating all of our models, and we both activate 1 model, and then you activate 1 model, then I activate 1 model, then you activate 1 model, etc. So all of my guys are pretty much close combat guys. These are the Victoria box set. They all have, except for Johan, they all have a free action point to spend on an extra melee attack. So let's jump straight into it then. You've got a deck of cards. This is what we call the fate deck, and it's used for all the flips and rolls and all that sort of stuff.
Basically replacing the dice.
It replaces the dice, exactly. So the game begins basically by us determining who sets up first. And
I'm guessing we cut the deck.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's just a...
Or you just draw.
It's just a draw.
So like that, obviously.
Yeah.
Do the suits, some suits beat other suits?
Do some suits beat other suits?
Obviously, like in some card games, how the
No,
suits are higher.
there's no trumps. But each faction has an affiliation with a specific type of suit. But no one suit is stronger than the other. It just simply represents the actions and triggers that will take place, which I'll explain shortly, if you flip one of those...
The different suits have different
suits.
effects with different
characters. That's right.
Okay.
So
That's pretty cool.
I flipped a 12, you flipped a
6.
6, so I get to choose who deploys first. And to make life easier, I will deploy first. Now this is a 4-foot table. Normally the game's played on a 3-foot by 3-foot space. So I'm going to deploy 12 inches in from the table edge instead of 6 inches. That gets rid of an extra foot. So I deploy all of my models at the same time. I'm just going to whack them all out here in the middle just for the sake of convenience. Now the various characters on their stat cards have various different types of abilities. I'll explain those abilities as we go through each of them. For my guys generally all act fairly independently of each other. They don't have any synchronization between them. except for the two Victoria models, which are these two guys, the chick with the two swords and the chick with the gun and the red sword. Excuse me. They both have the ability to swap places with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're also companions of each other. So on their card, it'll say that Victoria is a companion of Victoria. So if this model here activates, and the other Victoria is within 6 inches,
Has to activate.
then she can also activate.
Oh, okay. Doesn't have to though.
No. You probably find that Marcus then has a special spell or an ability that he can use,
Beastmaster.
a 0-point action I think it will be, to make someone
Beast from any faction. No, that's-
next to him a companion. Basically what that means is that if I activate someone and they've got companions, then the companions also activate in your turn, allowing you to move 3 or 4 models or 2 or 3
Instead of
models,
one.
etc.
Yep,
instead
okay.
of 1. So now I've set up with 12 inches from the table edge, you can choose your deployment.
Okay. It's just going to be random because I have no idea what to do. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
that's fine.
For the sake of this demonstration, there are other things that we would also be doing. And that'll be based on flips for the encounter that we're encountering, for schemes and schedules and those types of things, but we'll worry about those later on. They're basically what give you the mission, I suppose, how you earn victory
Scenario.
points. Yeah, exactly. So now that we've both deployed, we draw 6 cards from the top of the deck. This is your control hand.
So this is...
So these
You
are
can modify it.
exactly. These are what we use to cheat fate. Now the red jokers are very, very good, and the black jokers are very, very bad. I'll explain the influences if one of those gets flipped. Basically, what these cards are, we get 6 of them in one turn. A turn, don't forget, is us activating back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. We get 6 of these cards to alter what our fate cards will flip for our actions and our attacks and those types of things.
So you can obviously add to...
If we use a fate card from our hand, a control card, it will generally replace the card that has been flipped. Okay, cool. So now we've both got our control cards. We flip to see who has the initiative. Now at the beginning of each turn, we flip to see who has the initiative. So I flipped to 10,
7.
you flip to 7. So I get to go first. Now I activate 1 miniature and I do all
Can you play these cards at any time? Is that how it works?
these cards.
Control cards?
For the initiative at this stage,
I'm not going... I'm just... Yeah.
no,
Curious.
you can't cheat fate with on the initiative, but you can spend soul stones. Soul stones, which we won't talk about right now. Well, we will. Soul stones
I've heard about this mechanic and I think it's really cool.
are what you get to
Left
recruit,
over, basically.
to recruit your gang. So basically, the starter boxes all have a 25-point gang in it. My point costs 24 points to
So you
recruit.
get 1
So I get
left
1
over.
extra soul stone left over.
Mhm.
Your group costs 23 to recruit. So you get 2 soul stones left over. Plus Marcus also brings with him 4 soul stones. He has a cache of soul stones. Most masters will have a cache that they bring
So that
with
says
them.
cache 4 there.
That's right. So you should have 6 soul stones to start with.
Okay.
Now the soul stones are used during combat duels, either melee, ranged or magic, to add to the card or your flip. And we'll see.
So I guess each one adds 1.
Sorry?
Each one adds 1 or does it add...
That's right.
anything?
You
Yep.
spend a soul stone to flip a card. Okay, so basically the way the game works now, I pick one character to activate, and I'm going to pick my Victoria with the 2 swords, the Sword Mistress. She has 2 general action points, plus 1 action point to spend on Melee Expert. The action point for Melee Expert can only be spent on Melee Expert. Her 2 other actions she can spend to move and charge and all that sort of stuff.
So everyone gets 2 actions.
Everybody gets 2 general actions.
Plus the... Yep.
Plus
okay.
anything special on their card. Victoria, on her card, it says that she walks 5 inches and charges 8 inches. So I'm going to spend 1 action point to walk her 5 inches straight forward.
There's a charge 2 then, obviously.
Sorry?
Charges 2.
A charge is to cost you 2 points. And when you charge, the charge has to take you into melee range, to attack someone. Melee range, everybody has a certain range in which they can hit enemies around them. You don't have to be in base-to-base contact to be in melee range. Victoria, for example, because she's got her 2 swords, she has a melee range of 3 inches. Whereas this guy here, Bishop only has a melee range of 1 inch.
So this is the RG on the card, I assume.
Yep,
According
right.
to whichever attack.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Victoria has a melee range of 2, sorry, not 3.
And I'm guessing the gun means a ranged attack.
That's right.
And the claw thing means...
A melee attack, yep.
Yep.
Below the range is the damage that the weapon does.
Is that DG?
Yep, DG. Or for a ranged weapon, it'll say CB.
Yep.
They both say CB anyway.
Some of them do.
That plus your flip is what you do in terms of damage. Anyway, we'll come to that when we get there. Victoria's moving there. That's 1 action point. She's going to spend another action point to move again, and she's going to walk up here.
Okay. So I'm going to activate my Saber-Tooth Cerberus, and he can walk 5. I guess I'll just make him walk twice. And knock over the tree in the process.
I hate these trees. I've got to base them properly.
Those, I gave you those trees.
Yeah, you did. He might have some special abilities that allow him to leap and all that sort of stuff.
He has Stubborn, Stalker, 3-headed, which I'm not really sure what that does.
On the back of the card are all the abilities
This model receives 2
explained.
additional melee strikes during its activation, while it has over half its wounds remaining. It has Smell Fear. It says something about a morale jewel, which I have no idea what that means.
Alright.
But that's... Oh, he does have Leap. Immediately move up to CG, ignoring intervening terrain.
So leap, how much does leap cost? 1
0.
point? 0, it's a 0 cost action, so you can do that once. So once per turn, he can move up to his charge range as a move action, as a walk action.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll do that, which means he'll move an extra 4, which means he'll be there.
So he should now have...
Well, that's it, because I walked
yeah,
and then did that.
True, yep. Okay, cool. So now...
Although I could have leaped twice.
You can only spend 1 0-point action in a turn.
Okay, yep.
So yeah, it's 1 0-point action from here to here. That's your 0-point action.
To walk?
1 action to walk,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 action left to attack with.
Oh, right.
What's his range on his melee there?
2 on claws and 1 on bite, but I think guess I'll use the claws.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you use the claws and you get a successful attack, then you also get to do a free bite.
Okay, it doesn't say anything about that.
Okay, maybe I'm confused.
It's Devour. Sacrifice target living HD1 model. I don't know what that means.
It's like a little model, height 1.
Oh, he has 3-headed. But that you can't use that.
Okay, no worries.
Oh no, wait, it's +2. What does that mean?
Give slip.
+2, the model receives 2 additional melee strikes during its activation while it has over half its wounds remaining.
Ooh.
So I can attack you 3 times, I assume.
For which ability?
For 3-headed. But maybe I can't.
Okay, so yeah, you do.
No, it's +2, so I can.
Yeah, here you get +2 action points to spend on 3-headed, and yeah, 3-headed. This model receives 2 additional melee strikes during while it has.
So I
half its wounds
attack you
remaining.
3 times.
Yeah. So we'll do the first attack. Where are my cards?
So
Over
I
here?
just draw.
Yep. So you flip the card.
11.
And I flip the card, and you add your combat rating of the claws,
Which is 6.
and I
Is
add.
that wait, CB?
Yep, CB.
Yep, 6.
And I add the defense rate of my character, which is 6, so I have a total of 18. And you
So
have
I
a total of
17.
So you're currently losing the duel. Now, this is where we get to use the cards in our hand. The loser of the duel gets to choose whether he's going to cheat fate by playing a card from his hand.
I will. And I'll be bold and use this.
Why are you playing a lower card?
It's... Oh, right. Hang on. Oh, because it replaces it.
That's right, it replaces it.
Yeah,
So
sorry,
you,
I thought it was in addition.
You flipped an 11?
Okay. So I guess I'll replace it with 12.
So that equals me. Now, I have to beat your score to win. You have to equal mine
To win.
to win.
Okay.
Now, currently, I get to choose whether I'm going to play a fake card, and I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to play any fake cards. I'm going to let you win this combat, and because it's a draw, we now determine what the damage is going to be.
Okay.
The damage is done by flipping cards. Because the combat was a draw, you get a negative twist to your combat. And here in the combat modifier, because the difference was 0, you get to flip an extra 2 cards and you'll choose the lowest for the damage. So flip 3 cards altogether, 1 for normal and 2 because of the negative twist.
So I guess
and choose the
two.
lowest. And so it'll be the 2. And on the 2, it'll say that it's weak damage.
Which is?
Weak.
Yeah. Okay.
And so on your character card, for his weapon, there'll be 3 numbers.
Yeah, so it's 2.
So he does 2 points of damage. Where's the... So Victoria, she takes 1, 2 points
Okay.
of damage.
But I still have 2 more attacks.
So now you've got another attack.
Black Joker.
Black Joker, no, that's an ace, that's a 1.
Oh, ace, okay, sorry.
So I certainly beat that with a 13.
And I can't beat it.
Okay, so I win that combat and nothing happens. Now the third attack, 12 versus 8. So I have a total of 14.
And I have a total of 18.
Okay, so I'm currently losing. What's your attack rating?
Which is...
5?
Is that CB?
Yep.
6.
6. So I'm going to play the red joker.
Does that mean you can...
The red
flip
joker
again?
counts as a 14 and it allows me to choose a suit. And the suit that I'm going to choose is mask. So I'm currently winning this combat on 20.
Okay. I can't do anything.
So I win this combat. Now, this is where the suits of the cards come in. Because I played a red joker and I called masks, that gives me 1 mask to add towards any triggers that might be triggered as an occurrence of the battle. Victoria, she already has one mask in her profile for her rating. I've also flipped another one here on the card. So she now has 2 masks, which allows her to activate her trigger, Whirlwind. And Whirlwind on the back here. Dolt! After damaging defender with a Masumuhono Nihonto strike. Bummer. Alright, so I can't use
Does
my Whirlwind because I'm not attacking you.
Okay.
Bummer.
So I guess this is what the symbols mean next to the numbers. So the book is book.
That's right, yep. There'll be a ram's head. There'll be a book. There'll be, we call them books, but it's actually tome or tomb.
Yep.
And there'll be crows, which looks like the 2 crossed feathers.
The X.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay, we'll have another attack. It's 2 that I've done.
That's 3.
I haven't done 3 yet.
Yes, you have.
First one caused the damage.
Second one missed.
Yeah.
And that was the third one.
No, that was the second one.
I can play it back, Scott.
No, the first time
That's 3 attacks, man.
I turned the 11 and then I cheated fate.
No, dude, you've attacked 3 times.
I don't think I have. But anyway, let's keep moving.
Two damage.
No, that was the first time.
Alright,
Because
go.
it was all...
Third.
Oh.
You can just keep a little pile. Yeah, just spread them out. Bang. Flip to 10 versus your 2.
Well, now it's an 11.
Oh, pushes it to 11.
So it's 17.
So we both have equal combat versus defense. So it's whatever we're flipping on the cards here. So you flipped an 11, I flipped a 10. I can't beat the 11, so you're beating me by 1. Beating me by 1 is still a negative twist.
So it still only does the three cards.
2 cards, it's only a
cards.
single negative twist this time.
Okay.
So 1 card for normal,
So
1
8.
card because of the twist. 8, I'm pretty sure that'd be moderate damage.
And it is moderate damage, and it says 3.
So she takes 1, 2, 3. So she's almost been killed. She's only got 2 points of damage left. Now it's my activation. Now I've already activated Victoria, so she can't strike back. What I can do though is activate the other Victoria, and she's going to spend, she gets 2 action points plus a free action point for melee expert. She's going to spend 1 action point to use her action Sisters in Spirit, sorry. Excuse me, which allows her to swap position with the other Victoria. Because they're like kindred sisters, etc.
It's pretty handy to get out of a tight spot.
Yep, it certainly is. I'm now going to spend my 1 free melee action to attack you. So I flip a card. Oh, crap. My attack is 7 plus 2 is 9.
Well,
What's your defense?
defense,
It'll be-
5.
So you've flipped
Yep,
up 9.
9.
So it's equal. So I'm currently winning. You get a chance to cheat fate if you want. Mind you that the damage against you will be a -2 twist, which means I
I'll be
flip
fun.
3 cards and
I won't waste the card.
choose the lowest. Okay, so I flip 3 cards and choose the lowest for damage. Okay, so it's going to be weak damage. Still get to burn the cards off. Damn, 2 big cards, 11, 11. So weak damage from Victoria is 3 points of damage.
It's actually still pretty good.
Victoria's actually pretty good. She does 3 weak, 4 moderate, and 6 severe damage. And you'll see on the cards that they'll have different weak, moderate, and severe ratings on them.
Yeah, that's the 3 numbers.
Exactly. So I spent 1 action point to use Sisters in Spirit, which swapped them around. Another action point to do my free melee attack. And I'll spend her 3rd general action point, or her 2nd general action point, to I will just. I'm going to spend the last action point to actually cast to set her in defensive stance. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, defensive stance costs 1, and defensive stance gives me advantages when I'm positive twists, when I'm flipping for defense, etc. Now it's your activation.
Okay.
I wish I had more cameras. That camera is so shit.
It's alright. It'll do the trick. I'll try to record and do something at the same time. So Marcus here. So I'm not really entirely sure what I can do with this guy. But it's got instinctual, which is +1. Your model may perform 2 different 0 actions during his activation.
So normally is instinctual an ability or an
It
action?
is an action. It's +1 though.
So you get 1 free action point to spend on that ability.
I'm basically in a free action point for this guy.
Yeah, so you can spend that action point to use that action, and that action gives you 2 0-cost actions. And the 2 0-cost actions, or he has a list of 0-cost actions that he can do, all of which give benefits to people close by him. So if you flip this card over and have a look, it'll say on there...
One friendly beast within 6 inches receives companion markers. Which means they can swap places, correct?
No, which means that when Marcus activates,
Oh, they activate. Sorry.
their
Yep.
companions can activate as well. Only
He
the
also has
Victor-
stare down until the end closing phase. Enemy beasts receive, I don't know what that is. It's some symbol on all jewels while this model is in the line of sight.
What's the little symbol?
It's like a card with
A negative twist.
Oh right. Okay.
So the two twists are positive and negative. Negative is represented by a white card with a negative symbol in it, and a positive twist is represented by a black card with a plus sign in it. And when various abilities or actions, etc., say that or show one of those symbols, it means that the player flips one card plus the positive or negative twist. So if it's a +2, a positive twist, you flip one card as normal, +2 for the twist, and choose the highest.
Okay.
If it's negative, you choose the
starters,
lowest.
I'll just move him. So that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
I can't activate that beast again, can I?
No, the characters all activate and then use all their actions.
Alright, well I'll use the Beastmaster thing on pack leader thing on this beast here. So they'll both activate. And then I'll move him. And then I guess I'll move him again. So he's still got one more 0 action if he wants to use it.
I'm sure there are things that we can tweak in it I'm not familiar with.
Wild Heart.
I'm pretty sure there's a sequence in which how you're supposed to do your actions, 0 cost actions first and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well I don't actually know how to play it.
That's what I'm saying, I'm not 100% sure either.
He's used... You can do another 0 cost one. You can't really do much else, but I can activate this critter.
Now that critter might also have a 0-point action which it can use to move or something like that. Does it also have leap or?
It does not have leap.
Okay.
It's actually fairly slow. Actually, she's a beast too. They all are. I could activate her. And I think I will.
She has some cool abilities to shape change.
Claw shape. Oh, shape change. Transform into a non-unique beast. That's pretty cool. Which I guess the rules are in the book for.
Yep. Oh no, shape change will be on the back of her card.
It is, that's what it says. Transform into one unique beast. This one remains transformed until it takes a 0 action or casts shape change again.
Yeah.
Um,
I might point out at this stage that there is a 14-page errata for the rules.
it seems pretty complicated, but in a good way. It's very unique. He's going to move. Move again. Actually. Sorry. Move. Then I will charge.
Hang on, what are you talking about? You've done 2 moves.
Well, no, I only moved once. I moved it back because I wasn't... It was here.
Okay.
It was here, so 4 to there. And then charge is 12, so...
You won't be able to charge her.
Because he doesn't have a direct sort
Well, because he doesn't have you have to charge in a direct path,
Yep.
in a direct line, and if you're passing past models, in the base needs to be able to fit past.
Okay,
So
fair
he's-
enough. Yeah, cool.
Marcus would be able to charge because he can come across the hill.
Well, I guess he'll just move again. I suppose that's all we can do. There's 2 0-point actions. Is
You get to do 1 0-point action.
yep.
What are his 0-point actions?
He doesn't have any.
So then he can't do any 0-point
He
actions.
just move. Yep.
Okay, cool.
He does have a ranged attack, which I could use, but it may have hit mine. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay. It's looking grim so far. I've got to get some support up there. Damn, they've both activated, so I can't even move her. That's alright. We'll get Taylor up there now. Taylor, she can walk 4 inches. So I'm just going to spend both of her action points on moving her up here. Now she does have a melee range of 3 inches, but she won't be able to reach that character. Well, she actually can reach that character. I'm not 100% sure about the intervening model. Just want to flip on it.
I don't mind. You can do it.
Alright, so we'll say she can attack. So that was 2 moves, and she's got 1 free melee expert, so 5 plus her attack of 7 is 12.
You're attacking the Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! Dog stop. 5 plus my defense, so
Mhm.
10.
So I'm beating you by 2.
Perhaps.
So beating you by 2 is still a -1 twist. Nope. So you're now equaling mine. So it's a still a -1 twist to me
Isn't it?
because the scores are equal.
But it was negative something before.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, because the scores are equal. It's a -2 twist. Okay, cool. So I flip 3 cards for the damage, 1 for normal, and 1 for the negative twist. And I flip a 2, 6, and 10. So I choose the 2, which is a weak damage. Weak damage from Taylor is 3.
Again, not too bad.
Nice. So he's taken 6 points of damage.
Yeah,
He's
he's
got
in
2
bad
points.
shape.
He's got 2 points left. So that's Taylor done, and my 2 victorious. Now it's your turn.
This model receives 2 plus WP in duels when it is the defender.
Willpower. So sometimes when you cast spells,
Okay.
spells attack people's morale sometimes, and you use your willpower during the duel, just like we have been for combat and defense and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so everyone else has been activated basically, except for her. She will just walk back 2 times, and I'll see if she has anything else. Claw shape. What's that? It just changes her fist into a claw, I guess. Doesn't apply right now because it's for attack.
Okay, no worries.
So you've got 3 more to activate.
Just the 2.
Sorry, yeah.
Bishop and Johan. So we'll do Bishop and we'll move him in his 8 inches. Now normally in Malifaux, everything that's not considered flat terrain, i.e. the tabletop, is severe terrain and half your movement to move through. So he's just going to move up here. And since you've got no one else to activate, that was his activation. I'm now going to activate my next character, which will be the last one, Bishop. And Bishop can move 4, so I'm going to move him twice as well. And we'll also get him up over the hill. So Bishop. And Johan can move to there. So that's all my characters done. All your characters done. There is a closing phase now where some effects would take place at the start of the closing phase and then at the end of the closing phase. Since there's no effects taking place, that we simply reshuffle our discarded cards back
Not
into
these?
no, not the cards you have in your hand. You keep those cards, just the cards that you've discarded so far, and shuffle those back into your hand, or your deck, I should say.
Can never do that.
It doesn't take much
Sure.
practice, man.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that's because you're working with a sloppy arrangement there.
You're a sloppy arrangement. Your
Fuck
mum's
that.
a sloppy arrangement.
Oh, yeah. You're going to start on your mum jokes.
Go on.
You have to have 2 neat piles, man. And then you just want to get the corners in.
I think you would kill to have some neat piles instead of the scraggly, disgusting, hemorrhoidal mess that is your face. It's probably the worst thing I've ever said in my life.
The hemorrhoidal mess that is your face. You prick. Alright, so now the decks have been shuffled. It's the beginning of the next phase. We both draw up to our maximum number of cards in our hand, which is 6. I've got 5 cards left in my hand, so I can, if I want at this point,
I got 3, so...
I can chuck any cards in my hand out that I don't want. So I don't want this black joker, because black jokers are not good. Black jokers are always a fail.
So you can just basically...
You can chuck out whatever you want.
Alright,
Once you finish chucking out your
Let's keep
cards,
one.
you draw back to your full 6. Okay.
I see some dodgy shuffling going on in this with dodgy players. That's all I'm saying.
It's not my fault you can't shuffle properly.
It's not what I'm talking about.
You're no shuffling ability person. You.
I mean cheaters.
So every turn we flip for initiative, so it's in the beginning of a new turn, so we flip. Haha, 12, bitch. 7.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever.
So I'm going to kill that Cerberus by activating Victoria down the bottom here. First thing that she's going to do is cast Sisters in Spirit, or use her action, Sisters in Spirit. It's not actually a spell, doesn't require a flip. So that's her 1 action point to use Sisters in Spirit. I'm now going to use her free +1 melee expert to make an attack on him. Oh, with the red joker! So, the red joker allows me to pick my suit, so I'm going to pick Whirlwind. Sorry, I'm going to pick a mask. What's that? 11.
Yes. 11 plus 5, so
Still beating you.
16.
21. So you're down by 5.
Blackjack.
5 is still a -1 twist.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it.
I have no.
Nothing you can do.
Well,
Oh, it's only weak damage, 3 points. It kills him.
it does, and it wouldn't make a difference. It would always be weak damage.
Yeah.
Couldn't get any better, so yeah, he's dead.
Nice. Whack. Victoria comes in and kills him.
Ty's very well. That's okay.
It's not bad. It could have a little bit of... It does need some extra details picked out. So Victoria, because she killed him, damaged him, and she had both of the masks required for her trigger Whirlwind, her trigger can activate now. If it can activate, seems the defender is dead, and Whirlwind allows me to make another attack against somebody else, and there is nobody else. No point making any attacks. So, so we've spent 1 point to cast This Is in Battle. We've spent her free melee expert action to make that attack. I've still got 1 general point left, and the general point I'm going to put her into defensive stance. There is in here somewhere. Here, defender flips 2 positive twists. Your turn, buddy.
Okay.
I mean, at this stage, I've been keeping a list of counters and tokens that I'd need. Like, she's in defensive stance, for example, so I might make some tokens which I can stick next to her card here. Defensive stance. That sort of stuff.
So this guy has all these triggers and stuff. Some of them are bold and some of them aren't.
The triggers that are in grey will be the suit that you already have. The ones that are in black are what you need.
Okay.
You'll notice next to their casting or combat ratings, there'll be suits listed there. They're the suits that you have with you already. So for example, he's got 7 tome here, or 7 book, which means he always has a book. So if any of your things down the bottom here require a book, then he already has that book, which means his triggers.
But if it has the grey and the black, then he needs...
He needs the black one.
Yep.
On the flip.
Okay. So he always has primary reaction, defend me. Which damage? Okay, well he's going to walk to there. And he gets that pack leader thing also, so he can activate 1 friendly beast within 6 inches, which he will do on no, on him, on that thing.
Yep.
But not just yet.
Because which action is that?
That's pack leader. It's a 0 action.
Can I have a look? Because some actions, as soon as you use them, will take place. So that when you use that 0 point action, pack leader, 1 friendly beast within 6 inches receives companion. Marcus. Okay, yeah, cool. So that beast becomes a companion, and yeah, activates it.
Yeah, cool. So now he's going to attack.
If the spell had said that, or if the action had said that he'd 1 beast would activate immediately, then that beast would activate immediately, have its turn, and then it would come back to Marcus, and Marcus would finish off his turn.
Alright, I'm going to use... How many 0 actions can you use again? Sorry.
Can only use 1 0 point action.
So he's already done that.
But I think Marcus has something called instinctual or something like that gives him 2 0 point actions.
Oh, he does too. Yeah, he does. He can. So he's used 1. He's going to use another one called Wild Heart.
Yep.
And it can do a bunch of different things. But what he's going to do is use... It's called Bear, and it's +2 damage to his strike. So I'm going to strike, and it adds +2 damage.
Okay, no worries. Oh,
Bad news.
cool, lovely. So Victoria, she's sitting on 16.
Wow.
So you're flipping it up to
So what am I looking at here?
your damage rating there. 6.
You mean the CB?
The CB, yep.
It's in purple. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's just the colour of your chapter.
Okay.
Faction.
Yeah, 6. So it's 18,
18, which is beating my 16 by 2.
and it's severe.
That doesn't matter right now, but I need to play a 12 to at least equal that.
Severe and adds +2.
Not
Because I
yet.
use that other thing.
That'll be for your damage flip in a minute.
Yep.
Right now we're just doing our combat
Yeah.
totals.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't beat that. So you're beating me by 2, which is a -1 twist. So flip 2 cards.
6.
And the lowest one was 6, which will be moderate,
It is moderate. Which is 2.
plus the 2 damage
So it's
points.
4.
It's 4. Oh, shit.
She could be dead. I think she is.
Not that Victoria, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You did 5 points of damage to this chick.
No, it was the other one. And then you swap places.
Did I?
Yes. That one hasn't taken... The red one hasn't taken any damage. Because you swap places, then you swap back.
Okay. So she'd take 4 points and that would kill her. Yeah.
Are they on the same card, are they?
Well, there are 2 separate cards for her, but I didn't get one card in the box, so the
Oh, right, okay.
distributor's sending out another one. Horg. Death of one Victoria. Now, we're only playing with the starter set here. If we were including a couple of extra characters, if we were playing a 30 Soulstone game, then I'd have a couple of extra Soulstones to spend on other minions.
Mm-hmm.
I could take a couple of Ronin, and this Victoria could sacrifice one of the Ronin to bring the other Victoria back.
Oh, right.
So that'll be the first thing I get when I expand this group out to a 30 Soulstone group. Right now it's just a normal box set, 20, 25 points. Alright, that sucks. So I've still got everyone to activate it at this point, don't I?
Yes, you haven't activated anyway. No, wait, yes you have. You activated her. Because you
Yeah.
swapped spots.
Yeah, that's right. It's just her activation. Okay, so Taylor.
Oh, wait, no. Before that, I activated him because
Oh, of course.
I did that thing. He's going to charge. And that go. Which is 1, I suppose.
Charging costs 2 points,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets you a free strike
Okay.
with a +1 positive twist.
So I'll do that.
Oh crap, man! I forgot I put Victoria into defensive stance. I should have flipped 3 cards before. Anyway, that's okay.
So 13. I flipped plus my CB, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
which is fangs. So it's 6. So it's 19.
I flipped a 7 and plus my defense of 6, so that's a 13. What were you?
19.
19.
Mm.
It's big. It's
Yep.
big. So I'd need at least a 13. Since my defense is 16, I'd need a 13 to equal that. And I can't do it. So what's the difference? Hang on a second. The difference, I'm on 13, you're on
19.
6. So it's just a straight up flip for damage.
Mm.
Alright.
What's the usual thing?
A difference of 0 is 2 negative twist.
Mm-hmm.
A difference of 1 to 5 is 1 negative flip. A difference of 6 to 10 is a straight up flip. And a difference of 11 or more is a positive twist.
Okay.
Positive
Well, you
twist.
said it was positive because I get the free strike plus with a positive twist. Because I charged.
Yeah, that's right. Oh.
So I guess it doesn't really matter.
So there's 1 positive twist
Mm-hmm.
and 1... no, it's 6 right now.
Yes.
So
But did you not say that it was? I got the free positive twist.
you do, you get a free positive twist, but that will come into effect in half a second, man.
Oh, okay.
That's going to happen regardless. Right now, I'm just determining whether you're going to flip 1 card or have a negative twist. And I'll explain this in half a second. I'm going to play 10, which brings my total to 16. Your total is 19.
Yep.
The difference is now 3, which means there's a -1 twist, which cancels out your +1 twist, so it's a straight up flip.
Okay.
Whereas if I didn't increase my number, that sucks ass. if I didn't increase my number, you would have flipped 2 cards then, instead of the 1, and chosen the highest.
So severe.
Severe.
Anyway, causes 5. How many damage points does that guy have?
Fuck. He's got 10.
I might spend some soul stones. Can I do that?
No.
Do you not do that to increase?
No.
Not damage.
No. Not damage.
Just.
Just for the combat.
Yep. Okay.
Just for the combat. So you always do combat first, and then you do damage afterwards. You done? Charged
yeah.
in, spent your
Charged.
2 points.
Yes, I have. I'm done. It's your turn to activate somebody.
I'll activate Taylor because she can do reasonable damage and she's got a 3-inch reach, so she's not going to have to move to attack that guy. What's his melee range?
2, but he has a ranged attack that is 8 as well.
Okay, so his melee range is 2, so I'm pretty sure she'd still be within his melee.
Yeah, that's about right.
Which means she can't cast spells. That's okay. We'll spend, so she's got 2 action points plus 1 melee expert. We'll spend the melee expert to flip a 7, plus 7 is 14, 1 strike against him.
Okay.
Trying to beat 14.
Oh, you've already...
I flipped it, yeah.
Sorry. 9 plus 5 is 14.
So I'm winning. Difference of 0.
I win.
So you're on 14, hey?
I'm on 15 now.
15. So I've got damage 7. I'm going to play a 10, which takes mine to 17. Now, because we've both cheated, you get the option of choosing to if you want to spend a soul stone.
I will. Why not?
So you spend a soul stone, and you flip another card, and that gets added to the card that you've currently got.
Let's see. So 12.
So,
so 17.
17 versus my 17, I'm still winning. Now, I'm not going to spend any soul stones because I'm winning. It's going to be a -2 twist for me, so I flip 3 cards for the damage and choose the lowest. 4, which is a weak attack. Weak attack from Taylor's worth 3 points of damage.
I have terrifying 11. I don't know what that does.
Terrifying is a morale test. I'm not 100% sure, so...
I'll just leave it out. It's cool.
Someone's going to pick me up on that, I'm sure.
Well, you're just showing me the basics.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So she's spent her melee expert. She's going to make one general attack. Ooh, 18, nice. Oh, jeez, 18.
Yes.
So that's a -2 twist. Can you do anything about it?
Perhaps.
If you flip the 13 and you've equaled, I don't think you can beat it.
No.
So 3 cards and choose the lowest. So it's weak, so 3 points again. And she's going to spend 1 action point to cast Hammer Strike, or to use her action Hammer Strike.
Oh, cast 2 already.
Sorry?
She not used 2 already.
No, she moved. No, she didn't move. She spent a 1 free melee strike.
Yep.
To attack him. She just spent 1 of her general action points to attack him. She's got 1 general action point left.
So you always get a free melee.
Most of my characters are melee expert.
Yep.
And so my 1 action remaining I'm going to use to for Hammer Strike. Hammer Strike is flip a fate card, push all models within 3 inches of this model with a defense equal to or lower than the card's value, 3 inches away from this model. So your defense is 5, right?
It is 5.
So I need anything above a 5. Damn it, flip the 1. Bummer. Okay, otherwise that would have pushed you away. Now it's your activation. So
I'm not throwing the 10 of 4.
Alright, Taylor. Okay.
So, basically only got her to activate. What's the deal with measuring in this game?
You've got to declare your action first and then measure.
I'm going to say that I'll charge that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad. So I get that free strike. What's she got? She's got melee expert also.
Yep, so for your charge, you get 1 free attack with a positive twist for your charge.
Okay, well I'll do that.
So for 2 cards.
Is this not the...
You get to flip 2 cards because you're charging. If we forgot that before, I just forgot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
It's always a positive twist when you're charging. So versus
11 plus 4 is 15.
and I'm on 18. So you're losing by 3. Can't beat it.
I'll spend a soul stone.
Oh, bummer.
So this adds to it, right?
Yep.
Can I use anything from, can I use the
No,
fade deck?
you flip. 1.
It's not great.
So what are you at? You're still losing by 2.
Yes.
Ah.
Nothing I can do about that.
Nope. So that attack fails.
Let's have melee expert.
So melee expert gives you 1 free attack. Yep.
It does. So,
Wow, so I'm on
10.
9.
10.
So you're winning by 1. I'll play a fake card of 6. That brings me up to 12. Versus your 10.
13.
And I have 1 soulstone which I'll spend. And brings my total to 22.
Okay. Not much I can do about that. So I've charged and I've used 1 free attack. Now, the charging's 2, right?
Yep.
So I can't do anything else.
Okay, cool. So Bishop's going to fight back. He's been sitting here taking all this damage. He's going to attack the beastie. He's got Adaptive Fighter. It's a 0-point action, so I'm going to spend my 0-point action. Adaptive Fighter allows him to choose a suit to add to all his combat and defense rolls. And I'm going to choose rams. And he's got several triggers which the ram can be used for. So I'm choosing ram. So I get ram automatically plus whatever I flip. So he's going to make a melee attack.
He gets ram automatically.
He gets ram automatically because of his action, Adaptive Fighter.
And what does that mean?
Adaptive Fighter.
No.
What?
And he gets ram.
For, you know how the
Yes.
suit on the card here?
Yes.
I automatically,
right.
I automatically have a ram.
Yep.
Plus whatever I flip on the card there.
Okay.
So he's going to just use his melee expert to strike against the creature. 1. That sucks ass. So total of 8.
Guess I'll keep that. 12.
Okay, so I'm losing this combat, right? Bummer. That's okay. Yeah, I'll lose that one. Still got 2 action points left.
This guy's poisonous. I don't know what that does. Poison 2.
I'll be back in a second. Poison 2.
He also has onslaught.
Poison 2 allows you to give poison to someone. They receive 2 poison tokens. At the beginning of their turn, they take 1 point of damage for each token they have, and then they discard 1 token.
Part. Get the ball. Get the ball. down. Calm down. Breathe. Breathe. Oh, fuck off. Be gone.
Yeah, so poison allows you to give 2 poison tokens to someone.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good ability. It does at least 3 points of damage.
Well, I can't use it right now anyway.
Huh?
I already used that character this time.
Nah.
I've used all of mine actually.
What?
I've used all of mine.
What?
I've used all of mine
Okay.
this turn. Interesting.
Fuck, man, I should be a singer, man.
Yeah, you want to replace me in my band?
Huh?
You want to replace me in my band?
I'll sing alongside you. I think you'd be proud to have me on stage, man.
We don't need any more. Pirate's pretty wild.
Huh?
Pirate is pretty wild. I mean, this game is okay, but I don't see it taking advantage of terrain too much.
What was that?
I don't see this game taking advantage of terrain too much.
Taking advantage of terrain? Well, there are characters that can interact with terrain, etc. Like, terrain normally blocks your movement quite significantly. Your guys have scouts, etc., to ignore
scout.
terrain and all that sort of stuff. They have ability to leap. Leap allows you to ignore terrain and that type of stuff. So that's part of the reason why you've been able to come on me so quickly. I don't have that sort of ability. Like, for example, as Bishop was moving through here, he had to slow down as he's crossing through these hills, etc. Okay, so Bishop has activated. Oh, I was in the middle of Bishop's turn, wasn't I?
Yes.
And then I stuffed off. That's right, went to the bathroom. Alright,
He failed.
he did. I've got one more action point to spend, which I'll spend on another strike. So I'm flipping up. An 8 and a 7.
I got a 13.
Altogether,
A 5. Yep.
4...
Who are you attacking?
You're an 18.
Razor Spine Rattler or Miranda?
No, the Razor Spine.
Yes, so I am on 18.
Ooh, so I need at least a 12 to equal that, since my attack...
It's risky business.
No, my attack is 12, so I need an 11. Which is not going to happen. So, yeah, yours.
Alright, who haven't I activated this turn?
Everybody's activated.
Well, then it's yours.
Then I've got Johan left. Johan has a range of 3 inches. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be in range. So he's going to... he's got an action called Flurry. Flurry allows you to make, I'm pretty sure, 3 strikes against someone. Flurry. Discard a control card. The model immediately makes up to 3 melee strikes against a single model. So I've got to chuck a card out. Now, what are his triggers? Flurry. So book and... I'll chuck that out. Chuck the 4 out. And so he makes a flurry. Immediately make up to 3 attacks. So first attack is 6 plus his 5 is 11.
Who are you attacking?
The razor spine.
So I got 9.
So I'm beating you by 2.
13.
Sorry, no, yeah, 14. 9.
So it's still negative.
Still a negative 1.
Yep.
Okay, but because I've got a book here on my combat total, which was a 9 book, I can activate my trigger Brutal. And Brutal is when damaging defender with a relic hammer strike, defender suffers 1 damage per book in this model's dual total. Now my dual total only has 1 book, so you take 1 extra damage. So I've got a flip damage. It's a negative 1 twist, so I flip 2 and choose the lowest, which was weak damage. Weak damage from
Probably still do enough to kill it.
Johan is 3 plus 1 is
enough.
4.
That's enough. It's more than twice. Double.
Whack,
I
whack.
don't need this, but
John, thank you for coming along.
by the zombie chihuahua, you would be a different story. Let me tell you.
So that's several rounds of the game, man. Back to a new round. I can't activate anybody. Everybody's already done everything. Closing phase. Decks get shuffled back in and we go again.
I could probably leave it here. If you're, I don't know. What do you reckon? I think you should finish painting that gully before you go to bed. I get the idea. I'm getting a bit weary.
No worries, man.
Too weary to concentrate anyway. Do other stuff. Seems like it has quite a learning curve. Seems like it has quite a learning curve.
Not really.
Well, like, not in a bad way. I think once you get the hang of it, it'll be really, really great. And it's very, very different to anything else on the market. Which is great. How many times is there to reinvent the wheel, you know?
That's
It's
right.
a really, really unique game.
I love the card mechanics of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
The
really
cards,
awesome.
the ability to twist fate and all that sort of stuff.
It's much more...
I'm not massively
Still
impressed.
random, but it's much more involved than dice.
Yeah, there's certainly a few more things to think about because of the suits of the cards and the various triggers that can activate because of that. There's a little bit more to think about. I don't like the cards. Excuse me. I don't like the cards. I was disappointed with the cards that they don't fit inside a normal plastic card slip.
Oh, yep.
These ones I had to laminate. They actually come like folded over. So I had to laminate these
Laminating is
ones.
very effective, but it's not a solution for everybody.
No, that's right. That's right. There we go, guys. There's a couple of turns of the game, 2 or 3 turns of the game. I do have a tendency sometimes to over-explain things. I will make some short videos on just this bit, etc. But
Maybe
I
edit
thought
it.
I'll certainly edit it up, mate. Yeah, thanks, Scott. Lost train of thought. See you guys. Catch you next time.